My name is Lt Col Keith Craine. I go by Donk, and I am the commander of the 88th Test and Evaluation Squadron and the director of the Combat Search and Rescue Combined Task Force. We just got our first two H-60 whiskeys in April. They were actually the first two off the production line and the first two aircraft that the bulk of the developmental test was completed on. They're very heavily instrumented for that initial developmental test. Eventually that instrumentation will get pulled out so they're more operationally representative, which will help us from an operational test perspective. The biggest change, so from the outside you're gonna look at it and you're gonna say, what's the big deal? It looks almost the same. Very similar looking aircraft from the outside. The biggest change, one, is that we're replacing some very tired and worn out aircraft that have been put through the ringer in Iraq, Afghanistan, and across the globe over the last 20 years in the H-60 Gulf. The airframes are tired. We're seeing a large increase in the amount of maintenance required in order to keep them flying because of the high ops tempo that they've maintained over the last 20 years. So number one, we have an aircraft that when we schedule it and we go out to fly it, we can count on that aircraft being ready to fly. And then number two, and probably most significant from an operational standpoint, is a fully modern cockpit. So for the H-60 Gulf, we have round dials, we have gauges all over the place, and now we're going to a much more modern cockpit with 4 MFDs, and one standby instrument is the only other thing besides those 4 MFDs on the entire dash. So we think ultimately the H-60 Whiskey is a step ahead in terms of capability that's going to allow us to better integrate with the rest of the U.S. Air Force and reach some locations that we would not be able to get in the H-60 Gulf.